So you said your son is now overseas. He's working since the last 9 years. How he started, what is he doing, what was the training, and how is he so successful?
He was in a South Bombay school, and good in his studies. And from school, he went to Xavier's College. I think that was the turnaround for him completely. He was absolutely certain that he wanted to do humanities or arts. And Xavier's has Malhar and all these extracurricular activities. He just blossomed. From being scared to go on stage, suddenly he was the hero of the play that he was doing. So I think those 5 years in Xavier's College, I think, was the complete turnaround. So he sat for the placement interviews and he got this job to go to Thailand, and he was head of marketing in that. He was there for 6.5, 7 years.
Wow.
And he kept traveling. He went to the US a few times and to Manila, and then finally he went and stayed in Vietnam. So by then we knew, okay, he could manage his money, he could pay his taxes, he could do his day-to-day budgeting.
Wow. Is ABA wholesome, or does it need other therapies to support as well?
I would always say that more the better. ABA is a structured thing. The child is a human being who has a different personality trait. So the more the therapist they can, touch upon different personality aspect of your child. And if you work in collaboration, you can get a good result. But because in the autism is also a trait where you pick up that sameness. So if you are always only keeping an ABA thing, then they become always in that manner that they learn only this manner. So the more therapists you put, they are always been challenged or flexible, different viewpoints, and the parents also get to know what is giving them the result.
So, welcome both of you to the Dolly Show. I'm really happy and overjoyed to have you both with us today. Yes. And definitely, we're going to have a new point of discussion that we will be having today. A lot of new facets that we will be opening up. So, let me introduce you to our professional who is Tripti ma'am, and she is an ABA therapist. And lots to discuss with you, ma'am.
Don't call me ma'am.
No, for us, you are. And yes, we have our sweet little parent who is Rena ma'am. Welcome to the show. And
Thank you.
so, yes. So, to start with both of you, first and foremost, ma'am, I would love to know your journey.
So my name is Tripti. I was a good software engineer for good 10-12 years before he was born. And during the same time, we moved to Dubai. So we thought that during the infancy, since we don't have any family support, I shall be there for a couple of months and then I'll start taking up some job. So during that time, I could feel that there were some signs, but I was not admitting it because I knew that as soon as I acknowledge it, it would demand more of my time. So I was looking for the options. And I remember that I was doing jobs and everything. And during one of the doctor visit, we got to know that he has few symptoms of the red flags. And from there, we thought that initially, since he needs more of my time, so my husband said, you can pick up job later, which never came back. And then from there on, I went into this journey of autism mom or as a professional also with autism.
Wow, fantastic. So you being into the IT profession, so have you continued that or?
No, so I was there for 10-12 years before he was born, and after that I could not continue because initially we thought that after therapies he would be okay, he could be settled, but then the more you work with your child and you get to know that it is never ending, it keeps going. So I could never go back to my work again. So I got my profession in autism itself. So during his therapies, I got my certification and I started my professional practice in autism.
Which we will discuss in depth.
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah.
And I am so fortunate that we have Karthik with us today.
Yeah.
And some little noises if you crowd listen to. So just you'll have to remember that Karthik is with us.
Yeah.
So the lovely little noises or voices are Karthik's. So yes, over to you, ma'am.
Hi.
I'm Reena, and I've always worked. But when I had my children, then I became a stay-at-home mom,
Mhm.
and I knew that there. So I have two children. My son is now 30, and my daughter is 26.
Wow.
Yes, I'm 57. I will be in a couple of weeks.
You don't look like.
Yeah, you don't look like Reena. Seriously,
Thank you. But my son had some issues when he was growing up in the second standard. I knew that there was some problem going to school because every day was stomach ache in the head, headache in the stomach. And then when he reached the second standard, because also the schools give a lot of emphasis on cursive writing, and we figured that that was the sore point. And then the second standard teacher, he was in an inclusive school, a well-known South Bombay school where my husband went and the whole family went. My father went to the same school. And the second standard teacher turned out to be like a godsend for us because she picked up on this and she said, you know, Reena, I think there's something, why don't you have him assessed? And so, of course, first gathered the courage to go for the assessment and all that. And then we found that he was diagnosed with learning disability, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, and ADD. And he also had a lot of sensory issues, balloons, firecrackers, loud noises, birthdays, clowns, the list was never ending. But this was basically the diagnosis. And so we too went through therapies and learned how to move around the issue and to help him to just bloom and blossom. And that's it. And right now I'm so proud because he's been independent for the last 9 years. He lives overseas. He got a job straight from college. He did very well in college. And he worked for 6-7 years and now he's gone back to studying. He's doing his master's in film direction and cinematography in Boston.
Oh my God. Fantastic.
So if my son can do it, I believe that every child can bloom and blossom for sure. For sure. That is what
Fabulous.
I
Yes,
believe.
even I didn't know this. Reena.
Fabulous. We need his expert advice here as well.
You
Oh,
can see
wow.
I'm like a very proud
Yeah.
mom.
You have to be.
Definitely.
So that's been my journey. And so while my kids were in school, primarily to be in the system and to be around when he was in school, just to see that he wasn't getting bullied, which he was, of course, in an all-boys school. And that was when, with two friends, we started a company called Masquerade, and we started doing children's costumes and props and sets for children's theatre and annual days and plays and all. We did it for different schools. And once he graduated from school, college, then China came in and we didn't know what to do because our handmade things were no longer of any use. And then he got a job overseas, which he took. I cried my eyes out because I said, oh my God, how is my child going to manage to be overseas? He went to Thailand first, then to Singapore. And I was like, oh my God, not just out of the city, but out of the country. And before that, he had done an exchange program. He had gone to Harvard for 2 weeks. And there also I cried my eyes out because I said, how is my child going to survive? But I think children are so strong within themselves.
We are
And
ones,
if you
I
give
think.
them an opportunity, they just blossom. I mean, this is my personal experience. And so then I went back to college and I got a degree in baking and patisserie. And now I teach neurotypical children in a school in the suburbs, an international school, co-curricular activities. And Ritu, I saw a message from Ritu of Special Hangout on the Kolaba WhatsApp group, and a friend of mine, Roshan Shroff, and I were supposed to go somewhere that evening and it got cancelled. So because we'd seen this message saying, you know, we're looking for volunteers, and this was in January 2023. I can't remember. It's been, that was the
23, I
inception.
think. Yeah.
I think it was 22. I can't remember now. It's just been so long ago. And so we walked down to the place because it was quite close to home. And that was it. Looking at the kids, I knew that this was what I was going to be putting my heart into.
So we'll discuss in depth all these one-liners that you have given us. So I will definitely speak about all these, and we'll take it further. Before that, ma'am, coming back over to you, I would love to know. We did understand that you had a lot of difficulties during his diagnosis. So why was that, and what were your challenges?
So as you said that with Karthik, the thing was since I was in Dubai and I was not, we were placed there as an expat. So the whole society was full of different nationalities.
Mm.
So there was no way I could compare him with other kids. And with I had a elder child also, but since I was working and as soon as my maternity leaves got over, I was back to work. So I did not had a full-fledged experience to compare her with him. But I knew those short stints which I had with her while I was back from office or during weekends or holidays that he's a little different. But then I start accounting it, saying that he's a boy, he may be on his father, he's also very shy, doesn't speak much. And my mother-in-law was always pitching me and saying, no, it happens in the family, we don't talk much, this, that. But I could feel that I could, you have that gut feeling where you can sense that something is wrong. He's not so curious. Like if I make some games with him, he was very aloof. He doesn't care even if I'm not there. So I have a cousin who is a pediatric. So he told me either he'll be having hearing issues or he could be autistic. So that is the first time I heard this word autism. And then I started Googling, and I remember then in Dubai there used to be a lot of advocacy of autism. There used to be a lot of banners. So I used to read that word. You know how things happen, so you start remembering them. So I used to read that word, and I used to feel that I will go back and search it what it is. But by the time I come back home, I will forget that word. So when he said autism, all those banners which I have seen in the car started coming back to my mind. That okay, and then I could read and I could relate that he has those red flags. And then we went to one therapy center, and he said that he has red flag, but if you start diagnosing him, anyways, you are going to get labelized. Why don't you start therapies? So we started therapy. So I would say that it's not a rejection, or it is not a kind of dilemma where I was thinking, or denial mode. It is more like a rejection where I was feeling that I was having a good life, I had a good work. Why I got for the second child? Where you were like questioning yourself that why you have had this extra opportunity, this work for yourself. So that was some period for almost 2-3 years. I was, feeling why I have chosen, because my daughter was very talkative. She was always making stories. So by the time I'll come back from office, she will be like never stopping. So I thought that I'll have a second child. They both can gel together. I'll have my own time. But there was a different plan. Like whatever she was having. So the time she could claim from me, that was also gone, because all my energies were on him. So that was the period where it was not deny, it was more rejection, that why I had him. And then there was a time I remember we were in Switzerland, because after Dubai we moved to Zurich. And I was always in a hurry because I had to finish my housework, then I have to take him to therapies, and there everything has to be on time. So I was brushing his teeth, and there's a time I did something and he was crying, and there's the time he looked straight into my eyes. It was like horror my eyes, so you can feel that soul talk where he was. I could feel that. I remember that moment so distinctly, that I could feel that as if he's asking me why you are upset with me, as if I've done something purposely. Do you think I'm happy being like this? And then the whole perspective changed. So earlier I was like thinking him as a liability, a burden, a work, extra pair of work. Then I started thinking from his point of view, like I still have that liberty. I can switch myself. I can be his caregiver. I can be a selfish mom, like where I can do things for my own self and nobody will question me or ask me. He has no liberty to switch himself. Whatever he is. And he wants to do so many. He could also lead a good life. What his sister is going through, she's so demanding. She's asking, she's doing all this melodrama for even a small thing. Which he's not doing anything because he can't express himself. So then I started, that the whole empathy comes in, and then I started having that compassion for him, that how if I would have been in his place with no agents, no agency, or how would I have felt? And then I think then we started having a good bond, and then he started trusting me when I started teaching him. And then I think it was very accomplishing for me to see, like when I started as a ABA professional and I can make some meaningful changes in those kids and their parents become so happy. Then I thought that whatever I was doing in the IT industry, it was again, I was doing some coding which was making your life easier. But that meaningful life or the meaningful change is the one which I'm making now. You can see somebody's life has changed. So then I started having.
Is what my next question was going to be, which you hinted the audience already. So I wanted to really know, like you being into the IT industry, you shifted from that to an ABA therapist. What led you to that, and how did you pursue your career in that, and how did it help your son? Second, over to you also, ma'am. You also changed from what you were doing to, so this switch in your life. So are you all okay with that, or is there some sort of a guilt that you'll have, that I was flourishing and because of this I had to change? So what is that emotion that y'all are going through? So yeah, you can
So
start
for
now.
me, it just actually fell into place for me because with my son, it was such a struggle because first time mom and this my husband is much older than I am, so of course between us there's no generation gap, but between the rest of the family, the in-laws and all, it's always the advice, and also they had never experienced or had the label of learning disability for anyone in the family. So, and my husband is from IIT, so it just makes it that much more difficult. And so when we had to sit down with everybody and explain to them that there's nothing wrong with him. It's just something like having to wear glasses, or it's just a part of who he is. So we had to explain and educate people. It didn't really work because, of course, it is still, people don't understand. They say, "Arey, hamare zamane mein bhi to people." But the good thing about my son was that he worked very hard. So he really made an effort to be above average in his studies. How that happened is an inside story that we know, the struggle that it was. But the outside world only saw that he was getting like 80%, 90%, 75%, 89%, So they don't. So then it becomes like a bullying thing in school because they feel that he's above average. Then why are they saying that he needs extra time in the exams? Why are they saying that he needs a calculator for the technical calculator for his math exam? So that was the hurdles that we went through. But your question was how?
My question was
I lost
pertaining
the
to you.
question. Yes, I lost the question.
Were you comfortable changing your career? How was your
So actually changing my career just happened because I became a stay-at-home mom. Earlier I was in an export house. I was working as a merchandiser. Then I had the kids and I became a stay-at-home mom. And I think when you are at home with your child, you have that one-on-one connection, and also I think it's the ability to recognize that there is something different. Not necessarily something negative, but just something different. And as we said earlier, we also believe that boys tend to show, signs of their basic, what you call it,
Milestones.
their big milestones a little later than girls. But at that time, you're so into it that you're not realizing that these are the things. So that was why I just stopped everything. I stayed at home to be absolutely one-on-one, to help him with his, to get around all the issues of studying, handwriting, and then so I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time. And then I went into this theatre and everything because I always loved painting and art and craft. And we used to do this in any case, for the kids, when they say mothers come and help. So mother used to go and help just to be in the same property or the space or real estate that my son was in, just to be around. So he'd see me and he'd say, okay, mom is there. That afterwards changed when he was in the 9th or 10th standard. He would say, Mom, don't come close to me. I don't want my friends knowing that you're here. But you know how, and then at the end, at the show, then they always call the mother up because they want to thank you for all the work that you've done. And he would always say, oh, can't you just say that you don't want to accept this? No, I've put in this work. So, and then of course, as I said, China Made Goods came in, and then the kids grew up. My son went away, and to fill in that void, I went back to school, back to college, and I did a 1-year degree and got my baking and pastry degree, and then I started working with children. So I was always clear that I wanted to work with children. And then when this came up with Ritu asking for volunteers, and then I went there, and I think actually Ritu and I connected at the how you always say, you meet somebody, whether you're going to be, they come into your life for a reason. That's it. That is the truth. You just know that someone has come into your life for a reason. And I always knew that I wanted to do something with children who had special needs, and also for families, because for me it was such a major thing, and in the whole sequence of things, it was such a tiny little thing when I see what other parents are going through, what other families are going through. So that, I think, was the reason. I think I probably veered away from your question.
That's okay.
But
I think you're pouring out how the journey.
Yeah. So this was my journey, and this is the reason why I am with Special Hangout. I just believe that you put your heart into something, as you said also earlier, put your heart into something, and it just the universe falls into place for you, and that's it.
True.
Wow. That's been my journey, and I've just become an integral part of Special Hangout with no intention.
That's an amazing initiative.
It is.
That has been taken up by Ritu. That's
so
for sure.
proud of
Seriously,
I'm so proud of it.
Lovely knowing her journey. So I don't see there was any guilt
No,
or
not at all.
any room for any kind of
No, not with
yeah.
Not in my case. That is not
Perfect. So yes, ma'am. How was your journey?
So mine was not planned like this. So it was like, I would say I landed up being autistic mom. So I was like straight away from the college, I got a campus selection. So I never stayed at home actually. Literally, I never stayed. Even my marriage, I placed it like between jobs. So I moved from Delhi to Mumbai after my marriage. So I'd taken the date for the next company joining, so that after a wedding 15 days ago. So I was like very calculative, very planned. So I was very ambitious. Everybody knew that she's not going to stop anywhere. So it was like I was making changes so easily from companies to companies. I was moving places to places. I did in US also. I worked for a couple of years before getting married. So I was I was a typical Marwadi family. So when my father was looking for the boy, even then I was very clear. See, I will not leave my job, even if the kids are there. So I'm very particular.
God, you're pretty ahead of time, huh?
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
After, like, even for my daughter, when I was carrying her, my colleagues used to say कि भैया अब तो छुट्टी ले ले. I was like कि नहीं उन्हों वो पूरे calculate होते ना maternity.
Exactly.
So I was like नहीं, I can stay her with longer with her ना, तो कुछ नहीं अभी I can carry on. So like
The person who plans marriage in between jobs, I can totally understand.
So I was like very much like got to go, मतलब बच्चे रहना ही नहीं है घर पे. So I think it was not a discovery of autism, it was a discovery for me, myself, like how can I spend all these 10 hours or 12 hours at one home, without anyone else. There is no timesheet filling, but still you are working 24/7. There is no appreciation mail, there is no acknowledgement, no reward, no bonuses. You are still working. Nobody even cares what you are doing. So I used to feel like I'm so trapped, and like after his birth and after his diagnosis, I was like, कि normal होता तो at least I could have left with some Maya and I could have, taken up my job. So I was feeling like I'm so trapped. I was stuck into this house, and because I never stayed even during my college and school. I was like doing some course or other, and so it was like, I would say that initially it was very. I was not taken it very positively. I was like, as I told you that my relationship with him was also not so good because I was thinking him as a reason for this cage, because I was thinking like why I went for the second child, because both my sisters are having single child, so I was like why me. And then as I said, that after that realization that whatever he is doing and whatever he is up to, it's not what he has chosen for himself. And I could feel that he's not happy being trapped in this body where he cannot express, and he could have got so many things for
That he
himself
wants.
which his sister already is enjoying, and so much attention he could have asked for, and the poor boy is not even asking. And I thought that I lived my life in my own terms for so long, and I think even now nobody can ask me or will challenge me. But I think if life has given you something better, you do the justice to
True.
it. So that time, and then there was no guilt by that time. So I met my colleagues, and then they also started saying that, "Good, you left the job now. The company has become so monster. You can't devote any time to your family or kids." So now, then I knew that my priorities are my kids at least, and for him, I knew that whatever difference I can make in his life would not be possible with some hired help. So I thought, let it be like this. Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah, thank you so
Definitely,
much. It was-
definitely.
Really.
So my next question, ABA therapy. So I would really love to know your perspective, so that the shift is seen. So
So, as I said, that soon after his birth, we moved to Dubai. So, by the time of 18 months, we knew that there's some difference. And that time, since likewise in India, we were not India. Otherwise, we would have also gone through this Ayurvedic, homeopathic, and by that time, we could have got something. But there, everybody was straight away. They told us take some therapies, and fortunately, we landed up in a very good institute and with a very good therapist. So all were like ABA, and that was my first exposure to ABA. That time, I also didn't know what is ABA, so I started doing some of the courses there. And after Dubai, we moved to Switzerland, and in Switzerland, life was little difficult because it is German-speaking country. Finding a professional is very difficult. Finding a English-speaking professional is also very difficult.
true.
Commutation and the weather is also very challenging with two young kids. And my husband's job is very demanding, so I was not expecting very much from him. Yeah, he was there in certain times, but it's mostly me and my kids. So when I was in Switzerland, there was a BCBA who used to see him once in a week. And I used to ask her thousands of questions. Why we are doing this? He used to do this in Dubai. Here we are doing differently. What is? And then she said, "Why don't you do the registered behavior technicians? You can do this. You can understand, and it would be good for him also that he'll be getting a therapeutic approach throughout the day in a structured manner." And since I was always wanted to make a career, and so I thought, "Well, let's make a career. This is a good choice." So I started doing RPT. So I got my RPT in 2017. And you are right that in India, I think during those times in Dubai and Switzerland, I never felt there's a tiff between ABA and non-ABA. People were following it, and there was no questions. There were few disconnections where people were not liking the approach, but it was like their way because the kids were high functioning. They didn't wanted them to do this manner in a very structured or in a strict way. But in India, I find when I moved in India in 2017, I found that people are very either they hate ABA or they believe or worship
Yeah.
ABA. There's
There's
no
no
in
in
between.
between.
True.
True.
So it's so as soon as I say that I'm an ABA therapist, I see the people looking at me as if I have taken such a bad profession, like ABA therapist. Oh, I don't like ABA therapist. So, or the other people who will say, "Oh, ma'am, give me your number." There are very few board certified ABA therapists. So, but personally, if you ask me what is an ABA, it has made a lot of huge difference in my son's life, and I've seen other kids also. But the main reason why people in India don't believe in ABA is because in US, in other country, there are thousands of ABA. So even if one ABA therapist does a wrong practice, it can be acknowledged by other, because the person will go to some other therapist, they will find out that these are the mistakes they are doing. Or there are so many ABA therapists in the, it's the kind of factories making, so all your juniors are also pursuing that course. So they can pinpoint that whatever she is doing is not properly, or it is not the way it has to be. So doing mistakes and doing the wrong ABA is very limited chances, because the documentation is huge. You can always be questioned. You can always be supervised. The board is itself in US. You can always be reported that if you are doing it wrong. Wherever in India I can do whatever I wish to do. Nobody is going to catch me upon because there are very few ABA therapists. Even if they have the junior in their team, which are, I don't know about everyone, but some of them are not supervised properly or not trained properly. So I can sell anything in the name of ABA. And if suppose say your child is not being recovered or not get better, you will say that ABA is bad. You won't say that it is not done properly.
Done
Because I would
properly.
say I'm a therapist.
That's
How can
the
you
reason
question?
why it's got a bad name?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
people probably just
People don't
passing
know how
anything
to
on.
pass it.
Yeah.
It's a science and it has to be done in a very meticulously way. You can't just do some sheets and say this is what I do.
Yeah.
So I think in other countries, because I have seen Amanda and my mentors working, and I see how quick they used to be, and I see therapists how they do in ABA. So in ABA, they say you can't have two stimulus; it has to be more than 3 and 4. And I've seen good ABA therapists here, BCBAs, who are just working with 2 stimulus or 2 choices, so which is wrong actually. But who would caution them? Nobody
So
would
I think
question
it's
them.
probably because people don't know any better.
Yeah, people
Correct.
don't know
And
even
probably
better.
that is
And they're
what is
making their own
given in
versions.
That's the thing.
We are more into this verbal behavior, which is by Skinner, where we take the all operands of the behavior. Like the speech is not the articulation of the sound is not the speech. How you request for the thing is different. How you label the thing is different. How you fill in the question is different. How they are the different operant of speech and how we have to work them together. And it has come to this very naturalistic approach where you win the trust of the child and work with them in a playful or manner rather than this discrete trial method where we used to make sit them and say, okay, you do this, then you get this. That is all over long time back. So I think in India, there's awareness is one thing, and the bad name is also spreading because people are not having that license to practice ABA.
So, people
So
are
then
just
they say it
taking
is bad.
advantage of
Don't
it.
go for it.
Just
Yeah.
taking advantage of the whole situation and
Yes.
saying that they are ABA.
Yeah.
Which is such a pity because I think ABA therapists are the most important.
I think in the
definitely
early
one of the
intervention, I
ones.
would say, yeah, they should
Yeah.
be the one which should be mostly sought for. Maybe with age, like at this time, I don't think he's good for ABA because then he'll become more structured and he will
Set
not
in
see
his
outside the box. But initially, when your child is all over the places, he's not giving you eye contact, he's not even listening or responding to your name,
Even
then he needs some
meltdowns,
structure.
Even for meltdowns.
Yeah, even for meltdowns or death of
Meltdowns
the
is a
bed.
very big thing. I've
Yeah.
seen with children who don't have that
Yes.
training or who haven't gone through ABA. I feel that the meltdowns are very severe
Yes,
and
yes.
very difficult for parents to handle.
Because
And
that is also a way of
Probably-
communication.
Yeah,
Because they feel that you
that's-
don't understand me. That's the only way you
Yeah.
understand. No, that
And
you
that,
let
so
it
it's like a vicious circle. That's
Yeah.
what also is the reason why parents of neurodiverse children don't like to take them out. So it becomes like a vicious circle. They get cooped up in the house because they're not taken out. They're not given all these stimuli
Yeah.
or various visual things and experiences and all, and that again becomes a whole
Correct.
vicious
It has
circle
all has
because
the
they
ripple
don't
effect.
have-
Because,
yeah.
And then secondly, again, we have to go through this continuous education. So it's not like that I call my ABA therapist now, I know everything. Because it's a science now, it keeps changing.
That was going to be my question actually. I
Yeah.
was going to ask because I know overseas therapists and psychoanalysts and psychologists and psychotherapists have to keep going
Yes,
for
yeah.
upgrading
Training,
every
yeah.
year and get a new certification. So I was
So
wondering
likewise
if
in
for
Board
ABA
certification, after every 2 years, I have to have at least 25 to 30 learning CEs. We call it as continuous
also
education.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
Then
you
only
see
at
the
the point,
latest,
yeah,
and
that's
the newer therapies available and all, like you
Yes,
said,
yes.
the
And all the
backlog thing
new
is
things
so
has to
old.
be.
Yeah.
So I am
That's
trained in BBMAT, which is works for the early intervention. Now I'm doing EFL, which works for the adolescents. So, and it's very interesting. So I have a background of software. We have that input and output cycle that you do these
Yeah.
two variables, give you this
Yes,
answer.
connected really well.
And this works with this also that I give these two points and these are the things which triggers and this is the consequences I get. So I feel as you were saying that everything is connected at the end. So I feel that the whole idea of my being in the IT, how much knowledge of that I can use it. So how I used to make programs, likewise I write the programs for kids now. So this, if we put this, then he will behave in this manner. So I mean I was lucky to get a mentorship by Smita Avasthi and Priyanka Bhabo and Sabin Saibek. So I learned a lot from them also. So those are the 2-3 people in India who are really doing very honest practice.
Also, I would be really curious to know as to, is ABA wholesome, or does it need other therapies to support as well?
I would always say that more the better, because ABA gives you a kind of overlook, because ABA is a structured thing, you know. So the child is a human being who has a different personality trait. So all the more the therapist, they can, you know, touch upon different personality aspect of your child.
Okay.
And if you work in collaboration, you can get a good result. But
Perfect.
since the child becomes very because in the autism is also a trait where you pick up that sameness. So if you are always only keeping an ABA thing, then they become very, you know, always in that manner, that they learn only this manner. So the more therapists you put, they are always been challenged or flexible, different viewpoints, and the one therapist may be asking this way, other maybe this way. So the child is open to all of this, and the parents also get to know what is giving them the result, which way he can do better. So I would always say that more the better.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Over to you, ma'am. A very interesting question which I want to know. So, you said your son is now overseas and he's working since the last 9 years. I would love to know all about it. How he started, what is he doing, what was the training, and how is he so successful? Because we need this kind of conversation. Touch wood, touch everything. And God
To be
bless
honest,
him.
I don't really talk about the kids too much, because I always feel that, you know, for me the struggle was so big, but then there are others whose struggle is so much bigger. So then they always feel that, you know, Are she must be, you know,
Got you.
maybe her son was high functioning and therefore, and you know, so that's the reason why
Yeah.
not many people know why.
Even I
my
didn't know about the
journey
kids. I never asked her also.
Yeah, I only tom from the rooftops
Yes,
all
yes,
the
yeah.
achievements, but I don't. So, yeah, so as I said, he was in a South Bombay, very well-known South Bombay school, inclusive school. He was good in his studies, and you know, it was an effort to get him there. He got an 89% in his ICSE board, which was really, you know, and so what was your question again?
Question was like, how did he
Yeah.
and
So-
what work is he currently doing, and how has he been able to, you know, adjust?
Do all this.
He's overseas. He's not
Yeah.
even
Yes,
here.
overseas,
So
yes,
how has
yes.
all that worked?
So from school, he went to Xavier's College.
Mm.
I think that was the turnaround for him completely. He was absolutely certain that he wanted to do humanities or arts. He was, no matter what, my mother-in-law kept saying, "Arey, your father's an engineer. How can you do arts? History, geography, padega." You know how it is. It's the typical. I mean, it's the mental scene that all of us go through. So, and then he insisted, and my husband and I both said, let him do what he wants, because by then he was so tired of the tuitions, and he was like, "Mom, I've struggled through physics, chemistry." In those days, you couldn't drop, you know, now subsequently, of course, you can drop science and you can do economics. And in those days, you couldn't. He had to do all the sciences, he had to do Hindi, and they refused to let him drop Hindi because he was getting his 60% by literally rattoing and learning everything by heart and going there and just writing down the answer. So he went to Xavier's, and Xavier's has Malhar and all these extracurricular activities, and he just blossomed. Blossomed. From being scared to go on stage, suddenly he was the hero of the play that he was doing, and his friend circle expanded. He learned how to travel by train to Thane, and he was, I think, head of marketing or something. Now it's too long ago. So I think those 5 years in Xavier's College, I think, was the complete turnaround of my son, with my son, and it like a very noticeable change from being a quiet little mouse who didn't want to interact with people. He was going out and he was meeting people, and he had this huge friend circle, and the college has what do you call it, where you can sit in, and you can they have an employment sort of a, what do you call it?
Placement.
A placement board, yeah. So he sat for the placement interviews, and he got this job to go to Thailand. It was a startup called Zilingo, which did very well for the first few years, and now, of course, then they faced bankruptcy and all that. Because it was a small startup, and because he rose through the angle, through all the levels, and he was head of marketing in that, and then he went through all these different departments, and he knew by then, by the end, when he left this company, he was there for 6.5, 7 years.
Wow.
And yes, and they shifted their headquarters from Thailand to Singapore.
Okay.
And then he kept traveling. He went to the US a few times and to Manila, and then finally he went and stayed in Vietnam. And so by then we knew that he was okay. He could manage his money, he could pay his taxes, he could do his day-to-day budgeting.
Wow.
He could, so it was originally, because I remember when he was in the 6th standard or something, my husband said, I think he doesn't know the concept of money. So he just casually, we were sitting around, how we sit around in the evenings as a family, and then my husband asked him, how much is a samosa in your school canteen? And he turned around and said, I think it's 200 or 300 rupees. And my husband said, oh my God, we need to sit down and teach him money, concept of money, how samosa. So that was my fear. How is he going to go and stay? That 2 weeks as a Harvard exchange student is a different thing, but when you're going to go and stay there, you have to look after your home. And I was all ready to get onto the flight with him, and I told him, I'll come and set up your home. And he was like, nothing doing. I'm going to go and set up. So initially he went with I think 2 other children from Xavier's got a job in the same company, 2 girls. So they shared an apartment, which he hated because he was like, Mom, I need my space. That's one of the, I won't say issues, but it's a facet of his personality. He needs his space. He needs his chaos. It's organized chaos. And that is how he went. And after working for about 7 years, he knew the company was packing up. By then, he knew he wanted to do something creative. So he worked for Vice Media, Singapore Vice Media. They were so impressed with him. At the end of his 1-year stint, they asked him to do a documentary, which he starred in, and he wrote the script and he directed it and all that. So, of course, I tom-tommed it from the trees to the seas because I was like,
wow,
it is so incredible, from the person.
And then he did his own applications and everything. We went through a lot of struggle as to whether he should take the college in LA or the college in Boston and all this. But until the last minute, he wasn't sure because there's always this chaos, as I said. And then he settled in on Boston. He's got good flatmates, and he's just so good. He's 30 now, so I'm very proud of him.
Likewise,
yes.
We also.
He's making documentaries which have been chosen
He's
for
done
some
so
awards.
much.
So he's getting there. He's
fantastic.
And you also supported him in the initial years.
supported
rather than
him. My
pushing
daughter
why
used
he
to
was
have-
there.
Yeah, my daughter, I have to say, because we live in a small apartment, so the room, my daughter would get very irritated with him, and she'd say, Mom, Tushar is pure chaos. And then the last Christmas, both the kids were down, and she was meeting her brother after 3 years, so that was like a very big thing. And after the first 2 days, she comes to me, and I'm so proud of her for noticing this and for voicing it. So she said, Mama, Tushar is utter chaos. He's utter chaos. That's how she said it. And then she said, but, there's so much more to him. And she told me this. She said, I have learned that I have to look past the chaos to see the rest of him. And that came from my 26-year-old daughter in December. That was the best Christmas gift I could get, because for a sibling to realize and to look past it, which is the truth. These children all have so much more to their personality, but we don't have the patience to look beyond that.
Yes, okay.
And when he was small, I used to always say, oh my God, imagine he's scared of balloons, he's scared of Ganpati, he's scared of this, he's scared of that. How am I? And now when I look back, and I think every child has
Yes.
something that they can shine in. That's
Mm.
it. There's no doubt about that. There is something. It's just to be patient and to
Mm.
believe in the fact that
Mm.
there is something, it will come out. Whether it doesn't show up when they're 13, 14, 15, even when they're 20, but there is some facet to every human being's personality that comes up. So that was how it was
Yeah,
with my
so-
kids.
yeah,
Influencing.
Yes.
Totally influencing this story has been.
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful
Thank
is
you
not the
so
word.
much. Thank
No,
you.
no, it's really
I am a
so-
proud,
I'm hearing for the
proud
first time
mommy.
also
Yeah.
because we always feel that Rina is like we do so much because our kids are involved. So at the end of the day,
Yeah,
whatever special
it's-
Hangout does,
it's
he's
just-
also a part of it. So
Mm.
I have to be anyways be there. But for her, it's like taking time out from the schedule. She can do thousands of other things.
Exactly. Is what my next question is going to be.
Yeah.
So let's keep it for that. So, ma'am, with you have had your daughter who is neurotypical and your son who is neurodiverse. So, what is the range of experiences that you have had?
Yeah, so it was very difficult during those days. Actually, it's never went easier just because the time they grown up. So when we were in, so she was like at the toddler, it is still easy to balance a neurotypical child because you can give them whatever they demand for or listen to whenever they do all this drama and it can carry it away. But once they come out of that age where they need more emotional connection with you, I think I was dealing with both the challenges because I was not having any family support. We were in Zurich. I was not having. We always placed in the expat colonies where they were different nationalities. So I had a Russian, I had a Thailand, I had different. So we could not, have that kind of exchange. She had a couple of friends, but they were again from different nationalities, and she was comfortable by that time because she started her schooling with the American school. So she was dealing with them. But at home, she wants a mother. And I was like, and those were the years when I was being told that it is the very golden years for your son's life. It is a neuroplasticity he's going through. Whatever he learned during these age is going to be, the foundation factor. So I could never, choose which one needs me more and where I should devote more of my time. So with her, I knew that I was getting that feed of being a good motherhood where I can play with her, where she can reciprocate my feelings, she can acknowledge my efforts. And there's a this who is not doing anything, whatever I'm doing is just, draining over the years and is not growing any emotion. But I'm working just because to give them kind of stimulus, that sensation that the thing is like this. So I could never judge or I could never make that balance actually, to be very honest. I was always been divided between these two, and I was not knowing like where I should spend more time. And in between, it was me also who was going through some challenges, like what I am stuck up to. Like this is what I used to do this, and
your own battle.
that own battle, like taking care of everything, and the new system, new country, new mode of transport, and everything was so new. So I think with age and with the time, he got little better. She also got into her teenage and she started understanding that she cannot be everywhere. She has her own. So if you ask me how's their relation between each other, I still don't know whether they are okay with each other. So she's not very over loving to him that she's always protecting him, but she's also not complaining with his behavior or whatever he does. She's okay, and he's also gives us, I don't know, like he takes her, he looks up to her. He doesn't come and hug her even if she comes. So now she's studying in LA, so she comes on vacation. So once he sees her, he doesn't go and go close to her, but at the same time he knows his boundaries, that it is her room, I should not barge in. I should, like, when she's around, I should, like, even if she's having very good food with us, he takes the liberty of taking the food with her. She will be just looking at her and the food and her, so that kind of
So like he's asking her, can I take it?
yeah, and he just, he keep becoming closer, and at one moment it's just he and the plate in between, and he'll be like this. So she's like, "Mummy, ab kya karne de rahe ho?"
She knows he
She
wants
knows
that
that it's just the only thing is not snatching me, and he's
Snatching.
not eating, he's not letting me. He's like, oh, you are eating
That's
this
your
food.
ABA therapy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I remember
ad.
that the review. This is like him.
Yeah,
So
the ad
they
for
have
it.
very unique connection with each
Mm.
other. So she's like, so yesterday he got a new shoes and he was running. I think he was very happy, and I was asking him to stop, sit in one place, and she was letting him have. He's just trying
How
to express
sweet.
his fun.
That's
Are those the
really
ones he's
nice.
wearing today as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they're
I was
lovely, huh?
going to
I
ask
did
you the
notice.
same.
Yes. So he got it yesterday. So he was very
Yes.
happy to have a new shoes. So I mean, like, so this is kind they had, but when they were child, then it was very traumatic for me. It was very difficult for me to see who needs more of my help. So, but I think initially when she was into her teenage, she has expressed to her teachers that I felt lonely at times at home because there was no one. Because she will ask me to play board games with her,
Mm.
and board games with the kids
Yeah.
takes so long. It never
Yes,
ends.
it
They
just
keep making
doesn't
their
end.
own rules and
I know.
they never
I
they
know.
never want to fail,
I
they
know.
want to keep it running.
Yeah.
So after one I think कब खत्म होने वाला है. So I won't play board game with you. Yeah, you do anything else but not the board games. So nobody plays board game with me. So I still have those guilts that I was not available for her, but I had no choice actually. So it was
Hmm. A very honest answer, believe me. Thank you for that.
yeah.
And I also want to know, you have like moved across different countries. So has that been a challenge, or has it helped in the development of your son?
Yeah, so with autism, there is also one of the trait that the child looks for the sameness.
Correct.
So actually, I think we could not let him get into that trap because we were moving so much. After every 2 years, we were moving home. So within the country itself, we were moving from one location to another location. So we were in Stedderhofen, then we went to Zumikon in Zurich, and even in Dubai, we moved from one place to other place. So I think he could never got that this stigma of they look for the sameness.
Same.
So we were always moving. But to answer your question whether it helped him or it has been a problem for him, I think with every move we have to change the whole team of his therapist. And with
Oh,
every team, there were the few who were not, at least actually that was also the reason why I went into the ABA, because I could see that some of the therapists earlier he was flourishing and he was not doing the same thing, and other therapists were under assessing him, saying no, he doesn't know this, which he was already doing this. So I was always questioning whether it is the therapist who is doing wrong or whether he was wrong, that's why he was answering it better, or is he doing the wrong way. So I could not get the answers from them, so I thought that better I study and get to know. But it has helped him because he has got good of all the worlds, because they are the different teaching modes, they're the different teaching ways they were doing. So I think we also could get to know what is his true potential. So I would say it worked in a betterment rather than in a wrong way.
Perfect. And also, I would love to know from you as well, in the same perspective. Your son has also moved countries, so he's been okay with all of that.
So as she said, with autism, they need uniformity.
Yeah.
Even though he was never diagnosed as autistic, but he's definitely on the spectrum. We know that.
Correct.
And there are still a few kinks that he works around, like he will not drive a car, even though he has a license, and things like that. And he needs things kept in his, as I said, utter chaos, but organized chaos. So needs things kept in that way, and so as a child, it was very obvious that he didn't like change. He didn't want. He wanted things at a particular time. He wanted. But over the years, I think he has learned to work around it and adapt.
Wow.
He's learned to adapt. He's a better traveler than I am. I like things kept, I want everything. He is very happy with a backpack and camping and, doing that sort of thing. So I think he's come a long way in accepting and working around his own needs.
Wow.
I think that is, I think it's sort of worked out. It's worked out.
Fabulous. Amazing answers that y'all have given. Very inspiring. So yes, let's come back to our favorite hangout. It's very inspiring, huh? This
Yes.
I can call it a happy place. It gives me a vibe, you know, and I'm really looking forward to visit the place once. So yeah, you both have been an integral part of Hangout. You being a volunteer and you also being pretty much involved. So I want to know from both of you, what has your experience been in Hangout?
Yeah, so with Karthik, when he was diagnosed, I was a part of many groups, and most of the groups they will be discussing the therapies or the interventions,
So true.
and gradually they'll end up into the promotion. They will be
Mm.
marketing one of the therapies or the center. So you get into this, you don't get anything out of it. Special hangout is was very different because first of all, we are not pointing out the deficits with any of the child. It's more like let's be together, let's go to this place, have fun. And that was something I was looking for. That so in the spatial hangout is different from other groups कि यहाँ पे मतलब it's not like कि हम सभी रोने बैठेंगे. It's more like कि and we will not be comparing also कि अच्छा तुम्हारा तो बोलता भी नहीं है अब तक क्या क्या किया हमने तो यही किया तो मतलब वो नहीं है. It's more like कि let's say हम लोग मूसो में जब गए थे तो all the parents were picking up that कि कैसे पार्टिसिपेट करें. अच्छा
Wow.
ऐसे करना है ये करना है. जब तुम मतलब जिसको जिसका बच्चा जितना कर सकता है वो उतना करवा रहा है. बट लेकिन ऐसा नहीं कि देखा वो तो ऊपर
There's
तक
no
चढ़ गया
judgment.
मेरा तो
There's
ऊपर
no
भी नहीं
judgment.
गया.
Yes.
मतलब ये नहीं है कि उसके वाले ने तो इतना ब्लो कर लिया और ये तो इतना भी नहीं फुला पाया. इट्स लाइक कि सब कुछ सब कर रहे हैं जितना जिससे हो रहा है वो कर रहे हैं. People are happy, kids are happy, and I think that is the only place where kids are not being judged or they could not be. Nobody's asking them to mask themselves. कि
Correct.
चुपचाप बैठ जा इधर बैठ जा because सबके बच्चे all over the place हैं.
Wow.
And all the mothers are like everybody's mother कि अगर किसी ने देखा कि अरे ये यहाँ पे शायद इसको टॉयलेट आया देखो ना ये कुछ कर रहा है तो अच्छा मतलब it's not like everybody is noticing your child, everybody is supporting you. So it's a very unique in itself.
Beautiful
तो मुझे
place
तो
to
बहुत
be in,
अच्छा
हाँ?
लगा. हाँ.
You can just, even the parents can be themselves.
Yes. I think that
Absolutely.
is one thing which I really missed in this journey क्योंकि हमेशा you have to be that on that toe master, ring
Always.
master की type की भैया ये my family is having good time in some fancy hotel then I should be taking care कि वो कुछ ऐसा ना करे वैसा ना करे. So I have to be on my toes all the time. But in special hangout you can be on your own, your child can be on your own, you can have both of you can have your best time.
Your own time, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is the very unique place. And
Wow, yeah.
Mhm.
So amazing. So many
So-
blessings Rita
Yeah,
was
yes.
getting, huh?
So-
And all of you, definitely.
she does a lot for her special hangout.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many events they do. I think she's the right hand of Ritu. I think from the very beginning.
I think, as I
I
said,
want to know, ma'am,
just-
how do you do that?
My daughter keeps saying, I don't know where you found this patience from.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
But as I said, the first time I met Ritu, I felt, you know, when you meet someone, you just know that you connect, and she's like a sister from another mother, actually.
Wow.
Because I just think that we connected, and it was like an unspoken agreement to do this with your heart and your soul. And I can see that she's doing it with all sincerity.
Yes.
It's not a money making thing. It's not, I mean, even when we started asking for membership fees, it was like a lot of thought went into it because we felt that when we were doing free events, people would give their name and then out of 20 people, 5 people would turn up. So, when you're asking other people to come for these things and then such a small amount of people come, number of people come. So that was actually the reason why we even started with membership. Otherwise, it was like an unspoken thing that we're not going to make money. It needs to be a safe space for the children, the young adults, all the neurodiverse people who are part of our community, as well as for the parents, the caregivers, because we want everyone to feel that this is a safe space for our child. And as she said, no judging. Everybody is from the same community. We just want to give back.
Yeah.
Just give back. That's it. I truly feel that I'm very fortunate. And I feel that this is my way of giving back.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you
Wow.
feel accomplished doing it because you are not advocating somebody's ideas. You're just spreading the happiness.
Yeah,
Everybody
we
is
just
happy.
become friends, everyone talks, everyone is happy, and the vibe is different. So you can see that everybody suddenly will start playing catch with a ball when we're in that open ground, or we have the music class where
Yeah.
everyone joins in and sings.
Rustam.
So it's like
Huh?
Rustam. Yes, he's our angel actually.
He has
He
a
finds
crazy
it funny,
fun
and I
for
say that, yeah, he's a real crowd puller. But that's the reason why I'm part of Special Hangout. I just feel
Wow.
that it's
I
my
think-
way of giving back. That's,
And I think Ritu is also having that charisma. You know, she never, like anywhere you see that people have got this thing. This should be this way. This way. She's very.
it's very chill.
Very
It's
chill and very open, very respectful. Like she will give me some work and she will never, question कि क्यों नहीं तृप्ति
Pester,
किया ये
yeah.
मैसेज क्यों नहीं डाला and she'll be
It's
like
very
always
open.
accommodating
It's,
कि शायद बिजी होगी तृप्ति रीना तुम डाल दोगी क्या मैसेज
Yeah,
या रीना
yeah.
शायद बिजी है तृप्ति कैन यू डू दिस फॉर अस and she will be never asking you हमेशा she will be always though she's the founder of Special Hangout but उसने कभी she has never taken this over her head कि this is
I
me
am
who
the one.
started this
Yeah.
she'll be
I
always
think the
keen
main
to
thing
do
is that we work as a team.
Mm.
And as I said, a safe space for the caregivers as well as for the neurodiverse people. And also, there's no one-upmanship. There's nothing like I did this better.
Yeah,
you did this. I
yeah.
think we just work together.
As a
And I
team.
think a lot of it is unspoken. It's just
Yes,
it just
yeah.
happens. You know, if she'd say, "Reena, can you do this?" I won't question it, or I
Yeah.
will not say, "Oh, you know." It's happened seamlessly.
very nicely
And
yeah. We don't,
it's just-
all are the mothers and all are working females. We never have this opportunity where we are sitting together, teamwork में. We all are at our work, but फिर भी काम हो जाता है. We
yeah,
just
yeah.
say
Wow.
It's just selfless and very organic.
I mean,
it's not.
the way the vibe is, I think you just love giving in, is what I think.
It's been a lovely journey.
it is a
It's
lovely
just
journey.
been a
And
lovely
say, because you pick up so much from each other.
Yeah.
Like when I see Reena, I may say that I go through all these outings because at the end of the day, he is getting benefit of it. I
Mm.
probably would not have gone. And for her, it's like she's coming up all her way, अपने सारे कामों को छोड़ के, and she does work in the school. She could have done at home. She can rest. She can do anything, no? But still, she's coming कि शाम को आना है, होली ने में हम लोग ये कर रहे हैं. So when you see others, they are doing so much, then you start
It's
picking
just a
up.
commitment, and I think I got that vibe because of Ritu, because she does it so selflessly. It's just from the
Yeah.
heart. That's it.
That's what.
Literally
Yeah.
from the heart. That's it. And I'm really happy with where we've reached with this
Yeah.
new venture that we're starting.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're so excited about it. Even if we start with just a few people, my thing is, even if you help 2 people in their life, I think you've reached somewhere. That's it.
True.
You make a difference even in 2 people's lives, and
True.
I think
That is the best thing.
yeah, I think you're blessed to be able to do
Yeah.
that. So it's been a great journey. It's special.
Yeah, I can sense it for sure. Beautiful, amazing conversation. So, to just end this,
I also think the mother in this situation, because of the close connect
Ah.
with the children, I always say the biggest hat I wear is being a mom.
Yes, I think
Always. I feel that is my biggest job for which I deserve a trophy.
Seriously,
But
I think
feel also
yeah.
we so subtly bring about changes in the spouse, also to accept without actually sitting down and having a conversation saying that this is how you have to accept and all. But I think with your own behavior and your own relationship with the children, the spouse also sees that
Yeah,
and
yeah.
kind of
correct. They make that connection.
adjusts. Yeah.
This is not something where you sit on the team meeting and then say, kids,
You can't,
hey,
yeah,
sir,
it's
now you have to
everyday
behave
life,
this
right?
way because the
Mm.
boy has
It's
been coming to the
Yeah,
committee. He has
exactly.
this
True.
different mindset.
It's just every day.
Yeah.
It just happens.
And I think as you rightly said, that mom has a biggest duty because I could have also had an opportunity where I could have hired a good help for him 24/7 and I could have continued my profession. And at one point I had the liberty. I know that my husband will not question me because he knew that how invested I was from the very beginning of my job. But at the same time, being a mother, I knew that my priorities should be with him because it is me who has brought him into this world. So my responsibility somewhere has to, unless until he is comfortable. And over the years, I have seen the people who have hired a maid. I know there could be different reasons, and I won't say that they are less of someone. But there's some difference which you can easily make.
Yes.
true, so true. That's what I said. A beautiful conversation. So, one last message from you and from you that you would love to give to the audience. One message.
I would definitely say कि always believe in your kids. I mean, never say. I can say that we do keep hearing this कि special child are given to the special mother, and I don't know whether you need to believe in it or not. But since it is your child, it is your responsibility, and have full faith and hope that things will change. And we can see in the Reena's case, if she would have given up in the earlier stages, maybe she would not have seen this many, feathers in
This,
her cap. Yeah.
Yes, over to you, ma'am.
I do believe that you have to believe in your child. You have to. Also, I think sometimes there's a reason why you're faced with these challenges. I really do believe in this. I feel that you're given challenges because somewhere up there, somebody in the universe knows that you are capable of dealing with these challenges. It may not be, everybody may not believe in that. But I also believe that you need patience. You need acceptance to accept your child's weaknesses and strengths. I think that's very important. And I think your belief. You have to believe that your child definitely has something in him. As I keep repeating this because I keep telling people also, you have to believe in your child.
Yeah.
There is no such person as a rotten person or a somebody who can't achieve anything. Every human being will shine in some way. Anything. It could be something very small, but you have to be able to recognize it and help it to bloom and to flourish. That's what I believe, and that's what I've seen. I've seen that with both my kids, and just a proud mother.
Yeah. Without belief, you cannot hope. Unless until you believe in your child, you can't
in your
hope for
child.
something.
That's it. That bichara attitude, or why did it happen to me and all. I don't think one should have that. Of course, sometimes you can't help it because of all the background and the family and all that. But I think
True. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And perfectly put in together.
thank you.
So thanks
Thank
both of
so
you.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for hearing our voices.
It's because of y'all that other people will be influenced. That's for sure. So thanks, a big thanks to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.